my situation and it was me.
Thank you, Wynter.
Let me say
That
this.
was going to be my next question. Go ahead.
I don't feel like Joy was messy. I didn't like hearing you talk about a man.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. We're talking to you guys today about Joy being just as messy as Wynter and Simone. Yeah, they're all messy, okay? And I'm sorry, y'all all are messy. Yeah, it's not just Simone. Joy and Wynter were both messy. You understand? We're not going to put this on Simone. Team Simone today, you get me?
Go ahead.
I don't feel like Joy was messy. I didn't like hearing you talk about a man went in my room half naked. That was embarrassing. Honestly,
All right, let's talk about it. But first, before we do, make sure you do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of uploads, okay? And if you're returnees, then you already know the motto. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Let's get into the video. All right, cool. So, in this particular discussion, let me be very frank with you. I really believe that Joy and Wynter are just as messy as Simone, okay? In this particular reunion, we got to see that there was a scenario where obviously we had the girls have a really conversation and they all started crying and had a girl empowerment moment. Here's my problem. My particular problem, I guess, with the particular scenario here is that they made it to be that Simone was the only one that was being messy. And I want to be very, very frank. If you watch the scene where Simone eventually confronts Joy about the situation on the reunion, when Simone says, if you're saying that I was messy, so why did you have to bring it up in front of the group and you were being messy? Listen to the response Joy gives.
Like, wait a minute, if you felt this was such a negative thing for me to even ask, why did you bring it up in front of a bunch of people?
Same reason that it was messy for you to come in between me and Jay.
No.
Okay, the response that Joy gives, if I say to you, you're being messy, your first response is in a roundabouts of, I'm not messy. But Joy's response was, yours was messy. If yours was messy, then the same reason why you did it is the same reason I did it. Sis, that doesn't mean that you're not messy. That means that you are messy. And you didn't deny it. You rather try to put the emphasis back on Simone's behavior rather than looking at what contributed towards your own behavior. Here's my thing. Joy and Wynter are not as sisterly lovingly as they're showing out to be. And the reason why I say that is because Joy didn't think Wynter was her co-equal, and Wynter was always trying to outdo Joy secretly. That was my personal belief, and the reason why I say that is because some of the behaviors of Wynter, even on the reunion, when it came to her and Jay, and some of the scenes that were happening behind the scenes that they didn't show us to the audience, the way that Wynter was like, "Oh, we had a great time, didn't we?" And almost like she's trying to do a one-up on.
damn right. We had a great time, didn't we?
Right.
It looked like some of y'all didn't get no sleep.
Right.
Joy. There was a scenario where they were asking Jay about why he didn't leave, and then she was like, "Oh, but didn't you say it was a hard conversation?" So and so you see that she's trying to get a one-up on Joy, and Joy knew exactly what she was doing when she brought up a conversation between Simone, Joy, and Jay about Wynter. So let me break it down for you guys.
But only Joy was there. Like, when you were responding to me, I didn't understand why you were as upset as you were. Then when I watched it on TV, I was like, oh, it was brought up to her in public.
Very intentionally, very, very intentionally, Joy intentionally brought up the information around the Wynter situation to nuke Wynter. Okay, here's my personal belief from looking at some of the things that are going on. I think what Joy was trying to do was kill two birds, one stone. Simone came to rat out Wynter and Jay in terms of someone going into a room. And let me be very frank with you. Someone half naked going into a room is a concern for anybody, right? But the way that Simone did it, I never agreed with it anyway. Because I think Simone's own intention may have been like, yeah, part of it was pure. Nah, you were being honest. You intentionally brought that to Joy and to Jay. And you knew what you were trying to do. Yeah, you were trying to incite some stuff, right? You were trying to get Jay back. You're like, if you think you can play me, I'm gonna destroy what you're playing with right now. And that's the way you were thinking about it. That's my personal belief, right? And so your intentions weren't pure. Let's keep it 100% true. Right? The darkest thoughts go in the mind.
I was trying to be messy, but if it was such a big deal,
me, Simone,
yes. trusted that you had enough good sense that if it was something negative,
are we
you
really
would have said
talking
it
about
in
good
private.
sense?
Joy, like.
Then after that, the information, remember, this information that Simone has spread is only between Jay and Joy and Simone. They're the only ones that know. Okay, then there's a meeting, and before the meeting kicks on, or I should say even the meeting as it's going on, gossip was being shared. This is what Alicia, I think at this point, Alicia was sharing about Brian and or something like that. They were sharing some information, and Shay was like, girl, give me the tea, give me the tea. So this scenario and setting is already a tea setting vibe. So Joy is not an idiot. She's a smart woman. She's not stupid. Okay, so she's very, very clever, and then she knew at that point in time the atmosphere is filled with wanting tea. So what does Joy go and do? She runs Wynter underneath the bus. On that particular point, there is Alicia, there is Shay, there is Anthony, there is KG. I'm sorry, why did you have to release the fact that Simone came and told you at that point in time that Wynter had Jay half naked in her room? It's a very clever ploy. Joy, you can't outdo me, girl. I see you, girl. I see you, player. You know what I mean?
Where Jay and I were together and Simone came over and she told me that Jay had gone to Wynter's room half naked after the pool.
Oh, that tea is getting good.
And I'm like,
So you played it nicely. Whoa, I just spat. You played it nicely, and then you ran her underneath the bus because this shouldn't have been brought to 4 other people. You see, when Wynter's saying obviously she felt hurt by the fact that there was gossip going on, and there was gossip about the situation. I think personally, when you hear when Simone asks Wynter about how she felt on a reunion about the actual situation, Wynter's very cautious in the way she goes forward and says, I think there was gossip and right? Okay, cool. Now, because obviously Joy and Simone have this pact of sister, whatever they've got going on, and I think as well, added to that, Wynter's I'm all about female empowerment. Female empowerment does not mean take hits. Does not mean that, sis. But so you see that obviously then Wynter covers Joy. I really don't believe Joy. I really don't believe Wynter wanted to tell the truth in that scenario, right? She didn't want to out Joy, right? Because like I said, they formed a pact. But the truth of the matter is, at that point, you got aired out by Joy and nobody else. So when Simone asks her if that's messy, Wynter says, I don't think it was.
Well, since it was my situation and it was me,
Thank you, Wynter.
let me say
That
this.
was going to be my next question. Go ahead.
I don't feel like Joy was messy. I didn't like hearing you talk about a man went in my room half naked.
How do you not think it's messy? No, Wynter, really deep it. How can you not think it's messy? When Simone goes to Jay and to Joy, they are 2 parties who are involved. They are dating the man, as Simone said. Right? And then now the person who also is dating the guy is the girl that brought it out to everybody else. The reason why everybody else knew is because of Joy. How can you tell me she's not messy? How can you tell me that she's not messy by looking at what we're looking at? Oh, she did it in love. In love? Really? Really, darling? Are you being serious right now? Telling me that was the way to do it, sisterly love, to bring it in front of 4 other people who have no bearing on our dating, who we're dating. It makes absolutely no sense. So then, obviously, it was a very underhanded move by Joy, and I see you. You know what I mean? When you do that, I see you. You know what I mean? It took me a little while, but I see the game that you played there, Joy. You know, you're not gonna get away with it.
Connection with Jay and I, but
Yeah.
it's been very awkward between myself, Joy, and Jay.
You okay?
So obviously with that whole situation, even when they had the conversation on the couch, here's my thing, and I think I'll touch on this a little bit deeper in another video when I talk about Wynter specifically. But another thing is this, when obviously they're having that conversation on the couch between the 3 girls, you see Wynter kind of go off. And the reason why I believe Wynter is going off is because, as I said recently, as I've been talking about Wynter, is that the focus on the image, and you know, this is church folk business, yo. You all know, church folk who are in positions of leadership have coined have crafted, have well expertly built the image of perfection within the church bases of walls. So when she's coming onto a show, what's she gonna do? She's gonna use the training that she's gonna use what she's been trained to do, which is build up this perfecto image, female empowerment. I'm all about the girls. Really? If you were, why did you still continue to pursue Jay? If Joy is your girl, your sisterly girl, why were you still pursuing Jay? It doesn't make sense, sis.
The picture that's being painted is almost like that's Camelot, and then I get to look like the side hoe. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case.
You dangerous.
And then you said you wanted to bow out because you can see that maybe potentially she's got a bigger connection with Joy. But then when he pursued you, you continued. Why? Why would you then continue? If you're all about the system and empowerment, why would you continue? Okay, so then now, obviously now when they're in that freedom of conversation between Joy, Simone, and Wynter, when she starts breaking down and crying, I don't think she's breaking down and crying because she's hurt. I think she's breaking down and crying not because there's gossip, but because the gossip is about her. And number two, it destroys the image that she's trying to build, which is the holy girl. You know, I'm the good girl, right? I'm the good girl, right? I don't do things that are bad. I'm not malicious. And you're right, you're not malicious. But you've built up an image, and the image is being shattered. And I think that's where the tears is coming from, right? Because unfortunately, you know, the funny thing is that, and I want to don't touch it too heavy because we're doing another review. Later on, Wynter is like, I'm a big girl, you know, when they showed a video of her going late night into Jay's room. Oh, so it's okay then. When the cameras catch you, you're a big girl then. And as soon as Simone said that she saw a man going into your room, you're crying because someone else saw a man go into your room.
Mr. Room to room number 2.
Damn right. We had a great time, didn't we?
Right.
It looked like some of y'all didn't get enough.
And you're breaking down to a point you have to go outside and Jay has to comfort you. See, something's amiss here. Something's not quite right. You have bars and energy say, I'm a big girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, because the cameras have caught you now at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 5 a.m. coming out of his room. But now when someone's saying to you that they saw Jay go into your room half naked, do you think that you're going to break down and cry at this point like it's Macy Gray or something? See, so when I'm looking at it and going, something isn't quite right. It's the image. When you have image like that, that's what makes you feel the way she did. You know what I mean? And if you watch even, if you watch even as well, the way that, again, when I'm saying messy, I say that in the sense of the fact that, you know, Joy didn't have to throw Wynter underneath the bus. I want you to understand this. When you're friends, yeah, with people, you cover them. The Bible says, you cover people's sins with love. You know what I'm saying? We cover it with love. Like, that's what love does. It covers a multitude of sins, right? Because when you're in a relationship, especially with that person, or even a friend, yeah, when they tell you some trash stuff, you're like, bro, I got you, man. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You look at it differently because that's what love does to us, understandably, right? So the fact that Joy just threw her underneath the bus to all these friends tells me that friendship is not as tight as they're making it to be. I'm not saying they're not cool, but I'm saying there is rivalry and competition right in it. Okay, they are the applesauce to the apple pie. Okay, it looks good on the top, and it really does look good. And then when you get underneath it, it's got that sweet, overly sweet taste of the applesauce, which is really annoying sometimes. And you want extra biscuit in the crumble, especially. You understand? But I'm just being real. Like, so so it looks good on top, and that's why I think the comment by Simone about sister wives was quintessential, because what she was alluding to was that, hey, you two out here are, you know, doing this whole, you know, perfect, you know, white woman going after one man, and, you know, going on as if, like, you know, you're comfortable with either one of you getting it. But the truth of the matter is, neither of them were comfortable of the other person having Jay.
The type of connection that they had.
You know, I was honestly shocked when you would tell me. You just like, yeah, Wynter's dope.
Okay, Wynter fought up into the point of him actually wanting to leave the show, okay, for Joy. So Wynter was fighting all the way up until that point, and then trying to make it like, oh, you know what, as you were going, obviously me and Anthony were even getting closer. Girl, of course you were getting closer, because you could see that he was leaving.
The winner was an amazing woman.
I thought you said it was like a hard decision. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course you're gonna get closer. But again, I'm not saying that she didn't have a connection with Anthony prior to that. I'm just saying that we are aware that that got a bit stronger when Jay was coming close to leaving, you know, for Joy and stuff. You know, and not only that, the reason why I say Wynter's also messy is because in the scenario where there was a conversation in the tavern, let me keep it 100% true.
Be with someone who wants me to be their little secret.
I'm proud of you, dirty little secret.
She can turn that cry on real quick, man.
There was a conversation in the tavern where Simone had said to Tommy and the girls, look, I do not want to be a dirty little secret, okay? Now remember, this is only girls in the room and Tommy, okay? And Tommy doesn't spill the secrets of what the ladies say into the boys, okay? So now when there's a cut scene with Anthony in the background, I want you to pay attention. There's Wynter and then there's Jay, okay? And then Wynter makes this joke, a mockery of Simone by saying, I don't want to be a dirty little secret. And then Jay piles it on by saying, oh, she knows how to turn that cry on and off. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think she does know how to turn that cry on and off, so I ain't even gonna play with that one. But you saw in that, how Wynter didn't mind lashing, Simone with the fact that she's, I don't want to be a dirty little secret, because it was all about competition. Like I said, this is why I said, in a competition, and you're talking about sisterly love, and I'm looking at you like, really? When you're going after the same type of man, and then you think it's this sisterly love going to be promoted? I'm not saying that she isn't about female empowerment. I'm not saying she isn't about sisterly love. What I am saying, though, is that the over pushing of it, as if that is your only narrative. Let's be honest, you're going for the same man, you're going to be competitive, and I think that is what can make people look at somebody and say, you're not real. You're not coming with your authentic self. You're giving me representative. You're not giving me true self. You understand? At least with Simone, I saw madness, and at least I saw some madness where she apologized for the madness, and I can see that's a real her. She crazy, but I can see the real her. But with Wynter, I felt like I got a representative. I've got somebody who's entered into the chat who isn't really her. And so now we've got this little mockery scene, and funny enough as well, when she's doing it, pay attention to Anthony in the background. Right? And I think this is very important, because Dunn know that he's paying attention, and obviously this is going to formulate an image of what he thinks of Wynter in the back of his mind.
Dirty little secret.
She can turn that cry on real quick, man.
That's the part when me and Joy was
And trust me, dog. So when she's talking and doing that, oh my dirty little secret, Anthony is behind her, and as she says that, his eyes focus on Wynter and what she's saying, right? Because obviously he's talking to somebody else, but then his eyes focus on her. So he's eavesdropping. You don't even know. Listen, people out here are formulating viewpoints of you from little things they're seeing. You know what I mean? So that dirty little secret thing, if Jay would have never known about it until Wynter went and snitched onto Jay and used it unto her advantage to build a podium and build a platform to get closer to Jay. Let's be very frank. Let's be very honest. Okay, Wynter, we know you was moving a little bit messy. Y'all going on like Simone be the only ones that are messy, but Joy and Wynter have shown us firsthand that they are just as messy on that show, okay? And I've got no beef with it, because I understand that things like this happen where we do get a bit messy, and the messiness is not always on purpose. Sometimes you say something and you do something that you really shouldn't have done, and you take it back and you say, look, do you know what? I was wrong for that. And the reason why I can rock with Simone is because when it happened, Simone was like, look, let me be honest with you. I am jealous of you two. You know, I felt this way. She explained her thought process. For me, that's a safe person, because someone who explains their thought process is much more safer to me than somebody who decides they're moving mad and they don't know why they're moving mad. And they will say to you, I wasn't even moving mad. Sorry. You saw the way Joy responded? She acted as if that she wasn't moving. She acted as if that she misheard what Simone said, and actually tried to flip the blame back onto Simone rather than saying, hey, look, do you know what? I was moving mad. You got to open your eyes and smell the king of Garfield, man. Even that little comment that Wynter made in that conversation with Jay, where she said, obviously, both her, and look, I want you to say this, she said both herself and Joy made a face when Simone said, I don't want to be the dirty little secret, right? Because one, they didn't believe her, okay? One, y'all gotta own the fact that y'all are messy, and Joy and Wynter is refusing to be honest about how Joy threw her underneath the bus. Y'all gotta be honest. Keep that pact real. I hear it, but be honest. Don't try to then displace it and try to redirect the blame onto Simone alone. No. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe. We appreciate you as well. Have your thoughts in the comment section as well for us. Appreciate you. Stay locked in.